Order.
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on January 27, 2023. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspaper posted on public bulletin boards and the Township website.
Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Here.
Councilwoman Ponderero.
Here.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Here.
Councilman Minnicino.
Here.
Councilwoman Travers.
Here.
Vice President Zapsik.
Here.
President DeYoung.
Here.
Thank you.
Everybody please rise for salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Madam Clerk, please accept and file the reports from the municipal officers.
I will.
Thank you so much. May I please have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the September 12th meeting?
Motion. Second.
Second. I couldn't. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ponderero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilman Minnicino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Travers.
Yes.
Vice President Zapsik.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
Up first, I'd like to invite the mayor to present a proclamation to Ocean County Teacher of the Year. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. I would first like to invite up Jacqueline Potachar to join me up here at the lectern, and then if we can also have her lovely daughter Rachel and husband Michael, and then if Mr. Campbell from Lake Riff would like to join us as well, because this is a pretty big honor, and I'm very excited. So I'm honored to be standing here with the Ocean County Teacher of the Year, which is very exciting. That's a great honor, and I would like to just say a few words about Jacqueline Potachar. The Township of Brick is fortunate to have many outstanding individuals who are dedicated to the education of our young residents. One such person is Jacqueline Potachar, a 7th grade teacher at Lake Riviera Middle School. Jacqueline was one of 21 educators selected by the State Department of Education as part of the Governor's Educator of the Year program. Ms. Potachar has been a teacher in Brick for 15 years and teaches English language arts and science and strives to meet the individual needs of each student. Jacqueline is a member of the School Improvement Panel, the School Climate Team, the National Junior Honor Society Council, and is the captain for the school's Relay for Life team, just to name a few. Jacqueline is also a professional development presenter for school-based initiative providing training for her colleagues, and the district is proud to have her represent Brick Township as the Ocean County Teacher of the Year. Therefore, I, Lisa Crate, Mayor of the Township of Brick in the County of Ocean in the state of New Jersey, in recognition of her being selected as the Ocean County Educator of the Year, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, September 27th, 2023, to be Jacqueline Potachar Day, and I invite everyone in Brick to join us in celebrating. I do want to say that as a fellow middle school English language arts teacher, I can commend her on all the hard work it is to teach not just that subject, but science as well. Science is not my thing, but not that I don't love it, but I do really want to say thank you for all of your hard work and congratulations for everything that you do for our students here in Brick Township. Thank you so much. Thank you. There you go, sir. All right, then we'll do, here we go. So we'll do one. The principal like to get in? No, then we got it. Then we got it, right? Yeah, we'll do a little better. All the combos, yes. Okay. Okay,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Very good. We're going to move on to Resolution 4-1.
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Authorize insertion of Chapter 159, 2023 Clean Communities Grant.
Thank you. Councilman Minikino?
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the insertion of a grant in the amount of $191,021.85 from the state of New Jersey for the 2023 Clean Communities Grant. This is an annual grant that the township applies to offset the cost of personnel and programs for garbage collection and recycling. Grant amounts are based on population, housing units, road mileage, etc., in the effort to encourage recycling, litter control, and cleanup. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-2.
Authorization to bid VACCon parts, supplies, and repairs.
Councilman Albanese?
Thank you, Madam President. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for parts, supplies, and repairs for Township's jet vac. These repairs cannot be done in-house due to the specialized nature of the equipment and required training.
Thank you. 4-3.
Authorize award of contract for roadway improvements, isolated roads.
Council Vice President Zapsik?
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes an award of contract for roadway improvements for isolated roads to Fiore Paving Oceanport in the amount of $387,600. The roads to be improved in this contract include Morris Avenue and parts of Meridian Drive. Bid notices were provided to 75 prospective bidders from our bidders list and 7 picked up bid packages. 5 bids were received, with Fiore Paving being the lowest responsible bidder. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-4.
Authorize award of contract motors for Marine One.
Thank you. Councilman Ambrosino?
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the award of contract in the amount of $55,360.20 to Chestnut Neck Boat Yard Company of Port Republic, New Jersey. This is for the purchase and installation of new motors on the Police Department's Marine One boat. This project is being awarded through state contract. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-5.
Authorize award of contract softball fields at Drum Point Sports Complex.
Council Vice President Zapsik?
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes an award of contract in the amount of $39,975 with Advanced Athletic Services for the renovation of 4 infields of the softball fields at Drum Point Sports Complex. In accordance with local public contracts law, the township received 2 quotes for this work, with Advanced Athletic Services being the lowest responsible bidder. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-6.
Authorize award of contract roll-off containers.
Councilwoman Travers?
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes an award of contract in the amount of $35,646.65 with Waste Quip Williams, Town, New Jersey, for 5 40-yard roll-off containers. In accordance with the local public contracts law, the township received 2 quotes for this work, with Waste Quip being the lowest responsible bidder. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-7.
Authorize award of contract emergency lighting for utility task vehicle.
Councilwoman Pontarera?
Thank you, Madam President. This resolution authorizes an award of contract in the amount of $3,567.24 with Jersey Shore Power Sports in Middletown, New Jersey, for the purchase and installation of emergency lighting to the Polaris Ranger ATV, which was recently purchased for the Police Department's Traffic Safety Division. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-8.
Authorize sale of surplus property municipal online auction.
Councilman Minikino?
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the sale of surplus property through the online auction services provided by Municipid. The The township will auction off a 2019 Honda Civic acquired through forfeiture.
Thank you. 4-9.
Authorize vehicle donation to the Ocean County Vocational School Academy of Law and Public Safety.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes a vehicle donation of a 2009 Chevy Tahoe to the Ocean County Vocational School Academy of Law and Public Safety. The Tahoe is no longer in service and is not providing any usefulness to the township. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-10.
Authorize placement of tax lien for property cleanup block 792, lot 13.
Councilwoman Travers.
Thank you, Council President. This resolution authorizes the placement of a tax lien at 1457 Princess Avenue in the amount of $60.13. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-11.
Authorize special events permit St. Paul's Church Festival.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Thank you again, Madam President. This resolution authorizes a special events permit for St. Paul's United Methodist Church to hold a festival event from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, October 21 at the church on Herbertsville Road. Thank you.
Thank you. 4-12.
412A is an inspection fund release, performance bond release for the Wawa on Brick Boulevard, 595 Brick Boulevard, in the amount of $22,282.06, and the cash performance in the amount of $2,475.79, and the inspection fees in the amount of $1,065.91. 412B is an inspection fund release for Block 321.01, Lot 17, in the amount of $407.06. 412C is an inspection fund release for 70 Brick Boulevard in the amount of $949.12. 412D is an inspection fund release for 184 Chambersbridge Road LLC in the amount of $2,623.12. 412E is an inspection fund release in the amount of $782.92 for LP and APTS LLC for Block 852, Lot 1. And 412F is in the amount of $907.06 for Comstock Boat Works at 704 Princeton Avenue.
Thank you. 4-13.
13A is tax overpayments for the year 2020 at Block 867, Lot 5. 13D is a tax overpayment for the year 2023 at Block 1192.31, Lot 23.
Thank you so much. This ends the consent agenda. Can I please have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Close council. Open to public for question on these resolutions only. Yes.
Nan Carl, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard, and I'd like to introduce my friend here. He will be my companion. His name is Kane Ein. He comes from a long history of the family doing support services for people with problems. Mine is that I tend to fall forward and break a wrist. So I'm finally recuperating from this one, and I don't want to break another. So he will be my constant companion. I don't see where it is, but I heard the word Polaris. I want to know what that's all about. What else? And again, my objection that you refuse to do the bidding of the citizens, especially me, and not use just block and lot. You can use them fine, but what is more familiar to us, the people, the citizens who are supposed to be doing the laws, is to give us addresses. But I'm not going to waste my breath, except I will repeat it over and over again.
The Polaris was a Polaris Ranger ATV. What is it? All-terrain vehicle? Is that what it's called? That is that. Anybody else? Seeing none, close public. Roll call, please.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Travers.
Yes.
Vice President Zapsik.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to 414, Bill Resolution Computer 2023.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $11,885,321.24. Sorry.
Very good, thank you. Open to council. Close council. Open to public on these computer bill resolutions only. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
We need a motion.
I'm
and a second.
sorry.
That's okay.
Motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman
Now,
Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Abstain Teamsters, and yes to the rest.
Councilwoman Travers.
Yes.
Vice President Zapsik.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Abstain Community Services, Inc., yes to the rest.
Thank you.
Good. 415, Bill Resolution Manual 2023.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,908,083.84.
I know it wasn't you, Perry. It's not Perry actually this time, amazingly enough. I know you never have it. Okay, can I please have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Close council, open to public on these manual bill resolutions only. Seeing none, close public. Roll call.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Travers.
Yes.
Vice President Zapsik.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are moving on to ordinance on first reading. There is no public hearing on first reading.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending the Township Code of the Township of Brick in Chapter 18, Fire Department, to be consistent with state law regarding an exempt firefighter's certificate.
Councilman Menachino.
Thank you. The Joint Board of Fire Commissioners requested the council consider amending the Brick Fire Code, specifically sections 18-2, members and officers. They proposed including language that clarifies the age requirement for members' eligibility, specifically firemen of the age of 18 to not more than 57 years of age at the time of their election to the membership. In sections 18.4, certificates of service, the fire commissioner is requesting adding the same age requirements as well as requirements to perform 25% of the fire duty during that period. The same language requiring performing 25% of fire duty is being requested in sections 18-5, exempt firemen's certificates. The request came as a result of the fire commissioner's plan to have the township's ordinance consistent with the state statute 40A 14-56. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I please have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Open to council. Close council. Roll call, please.
Councilman Albanese.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Ambrosino.
Yes.
Councilman Menachino.
Yes.
Councilwoman Travers.
Yes.
Vice President Zapsik.
Yes.
President DeYoung.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to public comments.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Mayor and Council, good evening. My name is Frank Puglisi. I live at 60 East Coral Drive. I'm a veteran of 2 wars, Second World War and Korean War. I have a problem with my next door neighbor, and I explain you why. A year ago, I was losing my backyard into the lagoon because I need a new bulkhead. So I put a new bulkhead. Now I have a problem with next door. He's losing all the soil in the backyard to the lagoon. And it's affecting my side yard. If this guy don't take care, I'm gonna lose my backyard. So try to call him so many times and no answer. He's got an answering machine. He doesn't live there. He rent the house. Every week I got a new neighbor. So is the mayor and council have the power to give an ultimatum to this guy? Either we lose a bulkhead or we take the CO away from him. Do we have the power to do that?
Mrs. Birkin?
I spoke with Mr. Puglisi a little bit before the meeting and promised I would follow up with him. He has spoken to our township engineer, who's checked into 58 East Coral, which I believe is a neighboring address.
I called the engineer and they told me this guy, they took a permit in June.
Yes.
Last year, but I still didn't do nothing. I can't get a hold. I got his name and address, a telephone number, but he don't answer the phone. So I don't know what to do anymore.
Okay.
Because he doesn't take care of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my backyard, my backyard. So far, so good, because I have cement. My backyard is all cement. Underneath the cement, the topsoil is already in the lagoon because they didn't take care of that. I have his name and telephone number. His name is Jerry Rico. And I got his telephone number here, but he don't pick up the phone. He's got an answering machine. I don't know what to do. I really don't know.
So the house next door to Mr. Puglisi is under construction. Melissa did speak with the property owner, who indicated that he does intend to replace the bulkhead and has taken out a permit to do so. He is finishing the home's construction before moving to the backyard of the permit. So I believe what Mr. Puglisi would like for us to see if we could do on his behalf is to move up that timeline. And as I explained, Melissa doesn't have any violations that would force the reconstruction of the bulkhead at this time. He's taken out a permit to tell us he has plans to do so. That's generally satisfactory to the engineering department. But I will talk to our construction official, Dan Newman, when he is back on vacation on Monday, about any construction code violations that he may be able to address or a timeline for the permit that we may be able to enforce. Does that sound reasonable, Mr. Puglisi?
I can't get a much. He can't hear. He's really deaf.
But before the meeting, I mentioned I would give him a call when Mr. Newman was back from vacation. That's what I intend to do. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court. I noticed actually for the inspection thing, we did do some of the addresses today. I hope that continues, but we did that. I'm going to read my letter, dated September 19th, 2023. They say John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court. Okay. Dear Mayor Crate, Council President Heather DeYoung, all Brick councilmen and councilwomen, as well as the residents and workers of Brick Township, and actually all of Ocean County. There are three major pollutants that come from cars: particulate matter, which is a mixture of solid particles and liquid droplets found in the air that contribute to atmospheric haze and can damage your lungs and get into your bloodstream. Carbon monoxide, which is cars emit carbon monoxide when fuel is burned. Breathing air with a high concentration of CO affects critical organs like your heart and brain. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, as much as 95% of all CO emissions in cities may come from motor vehicle exhaust, and we live basically on a city, which is called the Garden State Parkway. Nitrogen dioxide is the other one, which is when fuel burns, nitrogen and oxide react with each other and form nitrogen oxide. Nitrogen dioxide also forms from emissions from cars, trucks, buses, power plants, and off-road equipment. Breathing air with a high concentration of NO2 can affect the respiratory system. So it damages our bodies, whether the Turnpike wants to tell us that or not. Everybody in Allbrook Township, and especially the people within a couple hundred yards of the Garden State Parkway. So when carbohydrates and NOx combine in sunlight, they produce ozone. Air pollutants emitted from cars are believed to cause cancer and contribute to such problems as asthma, heart disease, birth defects, and eye irritation. What we do know is that the transportation sector is responsible for 55% of all NOx total emission inventory in the U.S., and the Garden State Parkway runs through the center of Brick. 14 to 20 foot high pollution, noise, and safety walls with high brush and freeze along the Garden State Parkway are needed in or around Evergreen Woods, Primrose Garden, Greenbrier, Lanes Mill School, Birchwood, Briar Mill, Cherrywood, Brick High, Town Hall, and other areas in Brick. All the people of these areas and others need you to help them live normal, healthy lives and not die painfully from premature death. It is time to save the children, save the elderly, and save us all. Defend us against the ingrained establishment of the New Jersey Turnpike's assault on the people of Brick. And why do the commissioners of the New Jersey Turnpike continue to harm the health of Brick residents? It's been 12 years. Why can't the mayor and the council and whoever else talk with the Democratic appointed commissioners and save the lives of our residents? Thank you. I yield back a minute 35.
Yes.
Nan Carl, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. I have decided that since it doesn't matter particularly to the 7 people up there, that each meeting I will spend 5 minutes, run the clock out, on what I'll call the soup du jour. Tonight, the soup du jour is the lack of lighting on the roadways. The other night, and I do go out after dark, and there was 3 or 4 young people. I think it was on Route 70 as I was exiting Walmart that this group of young people were crossing. There are no lights there. In fact, it used to be a problem right at the Walmart intersection, but they put some street lights there. And it was after that incident, these young children who weren't doing anything wrong, to me they're children. I'm an old lady. They were walking against traffic like they're supposed to, but I almost didn't see them. Only that I was turning that I got a glimpse of them, avoided killing one of them. So I've been thinking about it and I suddenly realized why we don't have lighting. Because since I've been here, it's a subject that has been mentioned many times, especially by me, but other people. And it's because of it's a county road. It's not a town road. It's a state road. It's whatever. And nobody takes authority. It should not need any action. But because they keep it a county road. Why? Then nobody can does anything about it with impunity. If they didn't, they'd have to do something. The roads are too long in distance from one intersection to another, but that's because they're county roads, not town roads. I came from the great state of Brooklyn. Don't let anyone tell you New York City has anything to do with it. But one thing, New York City, which of course owns the title to Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Bronx, and Manhattan, they have streets that are a prescribed distance from avenue to avenue is double what from street to street is. Takes 20 streets to make a mile, 10 avenues to make a mile. And they have better lighting in the city, of course, than here. You look out, you can't see anything. You don't know what's going on. And nobody does anything. These things need to be rectified. We have to pay high taxes because the distance for any child to go to a school involves a dangerous intersection, dangerous roadway. And so we pay for buses to put a block. To go 1 block, they would be put on a bus because it's too dangerous for them to walk to school. I had my children that they walked almost a full mile to school, Catholic school, which didn't provide, of course, any buses in Brooklyn. And they walked it in all kinds of weather, knee-deep in snow sometimes. You don't see that anymore because of climate change. And we didn't supply buses. They were healthier for it. I walked to work because where I worked was within, it didn't matter that it was within a mile maybe of my home, because there just was no way to take a public transportation. The public transportation was there, but I'd have to get on for 1 block or 2 and then get off and go 6 or 7 short blocks. So I walked, and it was much better for me. So I see the clock is winding down, and I hope you enjoy your subject du jour, and until the next meeting.
Next.
Mark Vasquez, Lana Court, Brick, New Jersey. I'm just going to read for a little bit here, but today I'm worried about the recent crime in our township and the lack of response from Mayor Lisa Crate and our council. As this is not just one isolated incident, this is continuous and ongoing. I've even heard someone who was a victim say that they tried reaching out to Mayor Lisa Crate and you didn't respond, which is upsetting and frustrating. I'm also shocked to see that our own police are being used in a political ad that Mayor Lisa Crate and some council candidates on council put out. This is disrespectful and unethical for you to use the police force for your own political gain. Not only that, not only that, I was blocked from your page, which is considered a public forum. And you're breaking the Constitution by not only blocking myself and other people that you've blocked that have gone against what you think and what you've been claiming. It's frustrating and it's unfair. And if you don't take action to fix that, we'll take action against you. Not only that, I'm asking this entire council to reprimand this mayor for using, again, our police on a political ad. It's disrespectful, it's unethical, it's for her own political gain. You haven't said anything. This township has been sitting and watching this crime. You have New York reporting on our news. It's embarrassing. You have township residents who are frustrated like myself, who are seeing what's going on, but yet nothing. The only thing that you did was respond on your own political page to say that you stood by your police. We all stand by our police. We love our police. We care for their safety. We're grateful for what they do. But I'm not okay with what you're doing, and what some of the council members who are running for election are doing. So if none of you respond or reprimand this mayor, this entire town knows what you're doing. You're standing by as someone who's using our township for their own political gain. Mayor John Ducey never did this. This is upsetting and this is frustrating. You should be ashamed. You should fix your actions. And you shouldn't stare at me like, oh, well, what's, just looking mayoral, and take action. Because at this point, we as the town people see what's going on. It's surprising that barely anything has been reported. Nothing has come from our township on a public notice. What are you doing about it? What increased police force is there? nothing but increased political ads and posts. So I'm asking this council to reprimand this mayor, that this is the last time we ever see our police being used in a political ad, especially in someone who's sitting in an elected position. Actually, we're elected.
Next, please. Yes.
Charlie Baker, 366 Ramcocas Drive. Good evening, council, mayor, and administration. In the theme of what the gentleman just spoke about, it is critical to speak tonight about how many people in this town are scared, having trouble sleeping. Last week, a rare occasion for me, I actually had NJ12 on, and I see brick in the news about 2 robberies. This is shocking. This is all over the state of New Jersey. And let me be clear about this. This is not an isolated incident. What happened, it actually got elevated up to, and I actually heard, I think, NBC as well. For years, crime has been a problem in Maple Leaf section. That crime has spilled over into Herbertsville. I lived there for 29 years. Colorado Park, now called Herbertsville Park, and all those surrounding areas. And just to give you a litany of things that just happened, and I'm not even counting the things that happened in the last 3 days that have been reported. In August, a catalytic converter was stolen off a truck in this town. Attempted home invasion was in Cedar Point. We had home invasions in Lake Riviera and Cherry Point. In July, they decided to break into 2 cars on the same street in the Herbertsville section. That's how brazen they are. In June, so now we're going to bring our school district in. There was multiple fights in one of our schools the last day of school. In the classroom, in the gym, and on a bus. That's deplorable. And I'm going to close on this section, and then I'm going to get into the history of what's going on with the crime on stolen vehicles. The Matitacock section, Princeton Avenue area, a car was stolen. So now let's roll back the history of stealing vehicles. About 1.5 years ago, I started hearing about it, and they were going after high-end cars in Wall on the Manasquan River. And at that time, this was a gang out of Newark. They were using juveniles purposely, under 18, to steal these cars. They were getting paid a set fee. Well then, lo and behold, they started moving around to Barrier Island and other areas where high-end vehicles are. And our first crimes on these vehicles were started the same way. Example, the Matitacock section. Over time, these criminals got more brazen. Now they're breaking into garages. They're breaking into the house because they know most of us, unfortunately, keep our key fobs in our kitchen, right next to our garage door. Now, to tell you how bad the problem is, I don't work in this town, but I do in certain sections of it. I was picking my daughter up from the bus, and I'm over at Dorado Plaza. And lo and behold, as I'm leaving that plaza, there's an electronic sign there saying, lock your cars and do not leave your key fobs in that car. Now I want to turn my attention, Mayor, you mentioned something on some material I saw about you've hired 17 new police officers. So now I'd like to direct the question through the President of the Council, through you. What is the intent of those 17 new officers at this time?
Public comment. Is there other questions?
No, that's it for now. I just want to know about that. I have other comments, but that's the question I'm asking at this point.
Okay.
Through the chair, if the mayor wants to discuss it or not.
This is public comment, it's not public question.
Okay. All right. So no response on that. I did ask that question to the mayor a few months ago, and he had indicated at that time that we're not to replace retired police officers, but to do community policing. I don't think community policing is what we need when we have gangs coming out of Newark and other points in the state. The other thing I question is if we're so safe. I've walked in here for months now, and there's 3 police officers that are surrounding this room. It's a little perplexing to me. I'd like to continue if you don't mind. The other point I want to make is the brick pride. Now, I find that interesting because on the top of that, it says it's the official newsletter of the town. Given the amount of crime that I just described, I haven't even talked about the last 3 days of stuff, or things that happened around the school a few years ago when we had a shooting. There's not one negative article or a public service announcement about what's going on. And quite honestly, I don't know how the rest of the citizens feel in this town. I think that's pretty damn important. So I want to close with a couple things. So I look at the Brick Pride as campaign material, pure and simple. The difference over the last 10 years that you've had control of this town, the taxpayers are paying for it. And I don't think that's right. But I do want to close, and I want to personally thank the police in this town. You have an untiring effort of keeping us safe, and I do appreciate that. The public service announcements, there was just one in the Shoreby, and again on that electronic sign, about how important it is to maintain our safety and to not engage anyone and to contact the police. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Bacon. I gave you an extra minute.
Thank you. The only other thing I'd like to say in closing, Mayor, I think you owe an apology to the citizens of this town over the things that happened.
Is there anybody else for public comment? No clapping. I said this last meeting. For everybody, that's okay if you were not here. There is no clapping. Thank you. Anybody else from public? Seeing none, Mrs. Bergen?
I have no comments, thank you.
Mayor?
Thank you. So I'd like to be very clear that the #1 goal as mayor of Brick Township is the safety and well-being of our residents. And I share that goal with our chief of police. Chief Forrester and I met today to ensure that Brick Township Police Department has everything they need, whether it be manpower, equipment, or support. They have everything they need to do what they do best, which is keeping people safe, investigating crimes, and arresting people who break the law. I think it's important to understand that what is happening here in Brick Township is not isolated to Brick Township. And the chief is working diligently with law enforcement partners across the spectrum to ensure safety in our town. In terms of recent events, please know that our police department is working on these cases 24/7. But the details of their work are not something we can share publicly. They are professionals and they are the experts in their field. Disclosing investigative strategies, what they are doing on patrol, or anything else could easily backfire and impede their work. So I'm asking that you trust the men and women who are sworn to keep us safe. This council has established a track record of supporting the men and women of the Brick Township Police Department. In the past 10 years, they've invested millions of dollars in police equipment, tools, and training. We have also invested in manpower, with the roster growing from 128 to 146 officers. When the police ask us or tell us what they need, we work with them to get it for them. we are sending a strong message to criminals that if they commit a crime in Brick, they will get caught. And that is all due to the incredible police officers that we have here in Brick Township. We are also counting on all of you as residents to be our partners in your neighborhoods. To be diligent, look out for your neighbors, and if you see something out of the ordinary, say something. Call the Brick Police. Join your neighborhood watch or start one if you don't already have one in your community. Welcome our community policing officers to come and talk with you and to share tips and strategies on ways to be safe and stay safe. Together we can make a difference. And one of the things that we'll be doing to help get that message out to our residents is, as you know, I have the Great Conversations that we put together. I will be having one out soon with Chief Forrester. We are talking about different ways to stay safe in your home, different ways to stay safe while you're out, and ways to keep your family safe and to prevent your car from being stolen. I have other conversations in line with our community policing people who can assist with that as well. And I look forward to having those out to the public because they are good public information for everyone. I hope that clears up any questions you may have about my relationship or the council's relationship with our police department. Having said that, there are other things going on in town as well that I would like to talk about. The first one is Council President DeYoung and I had the opportunity to go to the grand opening, or the official grand opening, of Durazzo's Italian Deli. It's located in the La Fontana Plaza in Drum Point. They have really good Italian food. I got to feed my family the night that we went for the ribbon cutting, so I highly recommend you stopping by. We finally had the inaugural event of the Longest Table, which was last Saturday, which is another way that we work here in Brick Township to bring our community together, because the more we come together, the more we get to know each other, the more involved we are in our own communities, the better off everyone is. I would also like to remind people that this Saturday at 10 a.m. there will be a Pickup Brick in Bretton Woods, another opportunity for community members to come together. People who may not know each other, but once you work together, you become friends, and that's how, again, we grow our community. The Memorial Marching Band is having their competition this Saturday as well, which is great. I used to be in color guard, so I'm very excited about that. And also, on Monday of next week, we were supposed to have it this Monday, but of course we got rained out. The bike and scooter park that we've been long awaiting the grand opening of will take place next Monday, weather permitting, at 4 p.m. and we hope to see a lot of our residents out there with their bikes and scooters because we're really excited about this park opening. It was a request that came into us shortly after the skate park opened because that park would no longer allow for bikes and scooters, and we wanted to have the opportunity to build a park that all of our residents could enjoy with their bikes and scooters. So we hope to see you there. Construction drop-off is Saturday, October 7th. So if you have construction materials that you'd like to drop off, please come down to the hill at that point. You can drop those items off. There's also a craft fair at Windward that day. And again, if you're into marching band competitions, the Township, Brick Township High School Marching Band's competition will be on October 7th. I believe that's everything I have for tonight. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Starkey?
I have nothing for tonight.
Thank you.
I have nothing, thank you.
Mrs. Murphy? Councilman Albanese?
I have nothing.
Councilwoman Pontorero?
Thank you, Madam President. We can tell that it's political season by the commentary and the appearance of people who haven't been consistent members who have come out to our meetings to be involved with our town. I am disgusted that Mr. Bacon can infer that our department's complete devotion to impacting our crime in our town their community policing efforts have led to a significant decrease in opioid-related deaths, and every one of those community policing programs are overseen by Chief Forrester. This is manpower, this is devotion that's above and beyond just wearing a uniform. Our men and women in blue in Brick have from day one taken it upon themselves to do everything and anything to prevent crime. To infer that council or our mayor have the ability through making an announcement impact crime that's going on throughout the United States, not just in Brick, all over. You're fear-mongering. You're fear-mongering. I want all of the residents who know all of the work and effort of our police department to stand up, join your local neighborhood watch, become invested in the process of extinguishing each and every one of those criminals, getting them off the streets and incarcerating them where they belong. I stand with our police department. That's all I have.
Councilman Ambrosino?
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to just take a moment to again congratulate our Ocean County Teacher of the Year, Jacqueline Potachar. I think that's a fantastic achievement and a testament to the good work that many of our teachers here in Brick are doing. Thank you.
Councilman Menachino?
Thank you. I just have one thing. Mr. Puglisi, is that? Yeah, thank you very much for your service. Thank you for your service. That's all.
Councilwoman Travers?
I also would just like to congratulate our teacher, Jacqueline Potachar, on the Ocean County Teacher of the Year. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Vice President Zaps.
Thank you, Council President. I would also like to congratulate Jacqueline Potachar, Teacher of the Year. My children are long out of school, but had the privilege of so very many phenomenal teachers as they went through the Brick school system. And it's just really great that we are still, there's still so many teachers in the system. Some of the teachers that my children have long since retired. It's great to see that we have so many dedicated, wonderful educators in our school system. And congratulations to Jacqueline again. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a couple things for our seniors. Starting October 2nd, Senior Services is starting to take appointments for their Medicare open enrollment, which will start the open enrollment starts October 15th and it goes through December 7th. So if you want an appointment with Senior Services to go over your plan and everything, please call them 732-920-8686. And also starting on October 2nd, you can register for the Senior Halloween Party and Mystery Game Luncheon. Again, you can register at 732-920-8686. And that is all I have for this evening. Our next scheduled meeting is October 10th at 7 p.m. May I please have a motion and a second?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All adjourned.